Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up your likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. Make sure you select all notifications, otherwise you might not get any. It is no secret that somebody somewhere is playing around with my channel, messing with the algorithm. You know how it go, fam. Whatever numbers you see, times them by 10. That's what we should be doing. But you know how it go, fam. You know, what don't kill you make you stronger, right? Let's see. I'm going to let a few hundred of y'all come in, and then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds. If you have not seen the rest video, it is on my Instagram page. There is a link in this description. All you got to do is click on that link. It's only about, it's about a minute long. Yeah, they popped out on them, fam, the way the feds do. Let's see. Let's start with Ruth. What's up, Ruth? Ruth Tejada. Fat Boy Boog. What's up, Fat Boy Boog? Chi-town. Fat Boy Boog. That sound like somebody with the plug. Fat Boy Boog. Sound like you got the plug. Epic Eric. Charles Stewart. What's up, Oak Cliff? Bria Graham. What it do? Andrew Ortiz. Andrew Ortiz. What's up? Random Star. What's up? Addison Jackson. What's up, Brand? Jason stacking my funds. Jason stacking my funds. I'm going to check something out right quick, fam, before I go in. Let's see. I want to check something out really quickly. Okay, fam. Okay, so here it is. Let me put a pick up of Diddy right quick. Going in. Okay, so if you see the last two men on the screen in the white shirts, right in front of them, to your right, that's Diddy. This is when he was walking inside. The people behind him looks like maybe, I don't know if that's his sons and some old people, but he had an entourage of people. It looked like about 6, 7 people. They're coming into the hotel like they're returning from somewhere. And the feds was already inside the hotel waiting. So they walked in. It's about 5 of them. Now, fam, I'm going to tell you what threw me off about this. Like, I'm going to tell you what really threw me off about this. Now, I know Diddy in a jam and he did it to himself. I got it. But, you know, I'm going to go and say it. I'm just going to go and say it. You know when somebody say I'm a gone say, you know it's real. It's about to be real. I'm sick and tired of white dudes arresting black men, pulling up, arresting black folks. All you see a bunch of white dudes, just a whole bunch of white dudes pulling up on somebody black, arresting them. I'm tired of seeing that. Send some black dudes out there. Oh, you know, like, man, you know, lie to me, make it sound fly to me, you know. I'm tired of seeing white dudes arresting black men. They just pulling up. Even, you know, it could be a standoff. It could be a domestic disturbance. It could be anything. Just a bunch of white dudes just pulling up, handling black folks. I don't like that, man. It just give me them slavery vibes. It just give me that type of vibe, like, you know, and you know, a lot of them too, they be excited about arresting black men in the first place. I'm gonna call a strike and a ball, fam. You know, I ain't finna just beat around the bush about this. I'm not finna do no tiptoeing. Yeah, man, yeah. Like I said, he did it to himself. He did it to himself. So, you know, whatever he got coming, he got coming. But I'm just tired of seeing white dudes pulling up, arresting black men, you know, and it seemed like they be excited about it. And don't tell me nothing about no black men not qualified to work for the FBI, because I already, just in my family, I got a couple of them already working for the FBI that's black. So I don't want to hear all of that. That's not it. They purposely block out black candidates who are well qualified. And the black guys that in my family that are in the FBI, they are amongst the most intelligent people walking the planet. Don't tell me nothing about no black people ain't qualified to become police officers because they ain't out there in the academy for no more than 6 months. What do they do? Like 3, 4, 5 months or something? And then they give them guns and badges and the authority to pull up on people's houses and pull people over on the streets and handle and try to deal with conflict. Some of these dudes out here are doped up and coked up and drunk. That's why a lot of times you see them jumping out the cars going crazy. They jump out the cars like madmen. They don't even know what the situation is. They just jump out the car, just rushing people and tackling folks and all this stuff. Melanin, this is not about feeling sorry for Diddy. I already told you. Whatever Diddy did, he did to himself. So I already covered that. This is not about feeling sorry for Diddy. At the end of the day, he is still a black man, and we have to watch how they handle him, because they'll handle us the same way, and we may not even be guilty of something like that. We know that they're putting these heavy charges on Diddy because he's black. Just like they put those heavy charges on R. Kelly because he's black. Not saying that R. Kelly was completely innocent of anything, but we know damn well R. Kelly was not involved in no racketeering. We know that. We know that was not whatever he did was not worthy of racketeering charges. So we got to be careful with how we prosecute people who have been accused of committing crimes. And even if somebody is guilty of committing a crime, we have to be careful about how we go about extracting revenge, how we go about applying justice. I say this, family, because oftentimes when we don't like somebody, we don't care what happens to them. We don't care if they get raped in prison. Like some of us don't like people that are incarcerated. Some of us think all criminals are the same. Well, if you're in jail, you must have did it. Some of us got that mentality. Well, you went to jail, you must have did it. And if you're in jail, well, hey man, that's just how it go. I hear about these horrible conditions and stuff, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. Not until it's you. Oh, and it can be you. Trust me. I met a lot of people who have done fair time, who are still considered upstanding citizens right now today, who said, I could never imagine I would be in this type of position. I've met people who have done state time. I never thought it would be me. I never thought it would be me. So what I'm trying to say is, fam, whether you hate the person or love the person, you have to be okay with the authorities not violating people's civil rights as they pursue justice. Pursue justice, absolutely. If he did wrong, he did dirty, go get him. But don't break the law trying to enforce the law. You know what I'm saying? You can't break the law trying to enforce the law and have that to be respected. That's all I'm saying. And and it's a lot of prosecutors and judges and cops, investigators, they break the law every day under the guise of enforcing the law, protecting the public. They'll put somebody in prison who they know is innocent. But because they don't like them, they just discard them, put them away. And we think, some of us, well, they say he did it, he must have did it. I mean, that's a judge. Well, that's a police officer. If he said he did it, he must have did it. Like they totally ignore all of these thousands and tens of thousands of cases of corrupt officials, corrupt authorities. They just totally ignore all of that. I say every single case brought forward should be looked at with a suspicious eye. Every single one of the cases. Make sure that you're not breaking the law, trying to enforce the law. Make sure that you are not violating people's civil rights in the pursuit of justice, because that makes you no better than the next person. And if you did that once, how many more times have you done it? The agents pulled up on Diddy. They popped out actually, like but this how the FBI roll. When they come, a lot of times you be doing whatever you're doing, man, and the FBI don't do nothing. Ain't nobody coming. You might think it, have it in the back of your mind, they might come one day, but whenever they come, you ain't never ready for it. You're never really ready when they come. They popped out like, yo. So they made a surprise arrest in the hotel lobby. And it looks like that was Diddy's final moments of freedom for at least, I don't know, fam. Ooh, man. Ooh-wee. For what they got on Diddy, I don't know. Diddy's lawyer, this is worth mentioning. Diddy's lawyer said that Cassie is really the only victim. Who believes that? Who believes that? I'm gonna cover that in more detail, maybe later today or tomorrow. But I got something I think I got something I want to put on top of that. So this video that's out right now, which is on my Instagram page, there's a link in the description. Y'all can check out the video for yourself. It clearly shows Diddy clad in a black trench coat walking into the Park Hyatt, New York hotel in Manhattan. That's Midtown. And he's with his crew of several men, but the moment he enters the lobby, law enforcement pounces, stops him and separates him from his friends. Now let's talk about these friends and let's talk about these security people. As someone who have spent a lot of time in the music industry and who have performed on big stages and been in major rooms, been at some of the biggest events, who have been flanked with security at some of these places, depending on where I am, where I go. I've always tried to maintain a certain level of grounding when I have people around me. A bunch of security people, they make you feel safe. You know, they'll give you, it's really more like, it's really a facade, right? Because I got a saying, nobody can guard my body better than I can guard my body. No bodyguard can guard my body better than I can guard my body. I'm my best bodyguard because I think of my safety every waking moment. Bodyguards don't think about me like that. Bodyguards got their own lives. They got their own stuff that they're going through. They got their own families to think about. And they have their own safety to think about. So a lot of these bodyguards who are with these artists and other entertainers and stuff, celebrities, even politicians, with the ones with the politicians, they are not about to take a bullet for you. They're not jumping in front of no bullet, man. They're going to be around, and it's more like to try to intimidate other people who might be thinking about something, or to probably like discourage somebody from doing something, right? But they don't really prevent nothing, because it is very difficult to stop a determined mind. If a person really want to hurt somebody, I don't care who that person is, they can get hurt. Anybody can get touched. If the right person, if you don't care about going to jail, if that person don't care about going to jail, if that person don't care about getting lit up, if that person don't care about being ostracized, if they don't care nothing about their reputation afterwards, man, you can't stop that person. You can't stop that type of person. The only thing that's gonna stop a person like that is that if you're dealing with an amateur. For example, like the so-called Trump assassination, the first one and the second one. That's about it. You're dealing with an amateur. And even when you're dealing with an amateur, if an amateur gets the jump on you and everything, the stars align, even an amateur can drop you. So a lot of these dudes are just getting free checks. They're getting free money. Free money. You very, very, very seldom hear of a bodyguard getting shot, putting themselves between their client and a bullet. Very, very seldom do you hear about something like that. Very seldom. Biggie and Pac were two of the biggest celebrities on the planet at the time of their death. They were rolling with several men. Pac was rolling with dozens of dudes. And the dude who wanted Pac dead was determined to kill Pac, and he didn't care about going to jail or getting shot or whatever. He was determined. And he took out Pac with all of those hitters around him who I'm sure have pushed some people around in the past and intimidated some people in the past. But, you know, it wasn't going down, like really, really going down at that time. When it's really, really going down, most of these dudes, man, they're gonna get out of the way. They're not gonna be prepared. Biggie, the same thing. Diddy happened to do with Biggie when Biggie got killed. Some says that was not a coincidence. Some people are pointing the finger at Diddy. But all of that security and you still hit. That's why, for me, it's not really about having a bunch of security. It's about the energy that I project. And it is about the people that I surround myself with. The type of people, not the title of people, but the type of people. Not the title of people, but the type of people. I don't hang out with people who are tired of living. I don't hang out with those type of people. I don't go around people who are reckless. I don't hang out with people. I've done it in the past. Now, I ain't gonna front. I've done it in the past. Hell, I was one of the people that was reckless. So, but man, once I realized how valuable my life was as a human being, as a father, as a brother, as a friend, as a man with a purpose, I cut all that foolishness out. I cut the foolishness out. So just like in the streets, when you got a big bad wolf or bear who is so big and strong, you can handcuffs around his wrist. He's so big that, you know, he damn near can't even fit in the back seat. You got to lie sideways in the back seat to get him in. But when them people come, no matter how bad he was, how many people he scared, when them people come, put the cuffs on and go on ahead and face the music. These guys were there for Diddy, to protect Diddy. They should have protected him from the feds ever even taking a look at him and putting him on their radar. They should have got at him and said, yo, bro, that ain't it. No, man, that ain't it. Let's not do that. A lot of times you can protect people who you say you love by just stepping up and speaking on it. And I ain't saying that they would have even been effective, but I know I wouldn't have had that on my record. I would not have been hanging out with no dude, kicking it. I'm not going to be on the payroll of nobody violating people. I'm not going to be on that payroll. I don't like money that much. I won't get that money. I'm going to go get some money some other way. But I'm not going to be on the payroll. You're not going to be able to keep me silent. You're not going to be able to violate women. You're not going to be able to even engage in all this freak off stuff with men. And I'm not being part of that shit. I don't care how much money you got. I'm not finna guard the door and drop people off and pick people up and look the other way while you out here banging butt. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pick up no damn oil, baby oil. I ain't doing none of that. I don't care about money like that. It's ways, too many ways to get money legally and respectfully with your dignity intact. It might take you longer to get to the bag. It may not be a high profile job. It might not be a sexy job, but it would be an honorable job. Man, it's death before dishonor around here. So all that money did those dudes, not one of them could step up and say, man, feds, look, y'all get out the way. He told you he gonna turn his stuff in. I mean, that's how they do with everything else, right? But you see, not one person, once them feds came, not one person stepped up and said, hold up, man. Let me talk to my boss first. We gonna bring him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No saying that you got what you got to do until you can do. That saying really is rooted in honorable work, where you work your way up to something better. I invoked that term in my life, that phrase in my life when I was a teenager. I remember even before I was a teenager, I remember when I got my first job, I was 10 years old. I was a landscaper with my godfather. And I remember vividly thinking, I'm going to do what I got to do, but this ain't, I didn't put that entitled phrase, that total phrase together at that time, but I had it in my mind. I was on that track. I was like, I'm doing this now, but this ain't what I want to do with my life. This is not what I'm going to do. This is something for me to get some money right now. This is a way for me to get some money. So I'm 10 years old knowing that I'm destined for greatness. I'm destined for something much greater than this. And that's not to put down any landscapers, because I know landscapers who are millionaires. And to keep it a buck with you, I always thought that was something that I could fall back on because I knew the business so well. I knew how to do it so well. By the time I was 18, I was man, shoot. Even to this day, boy, I come in here, one of y'all, give me a lawnmower. I come in there and had that lawn manicured like a barber. Y'all be like, damn. Man, say, man, why have your edge looking so live? But my point is, I was doing what I had to do until I could do what I wanted to. I knew that I was not at that time that this ain't gonna be me, because I used to have every day when I would work, my nails was dirty. I got grass all around my neck. It's hot. I'm in Houston, man. Summer months especially, it's brutal. I'm hot. I'm pushing the lawnmower, and I'm like looking inside of people's houses, and I'm looking through their windows, because the neighborhoods where I would work, they were these. Let me show y'all a picture of me. The neighborhoods that I worked in were were rich neighborhoods. In fact, one of the neighborhoods that I worked in, I later bought, when I first made my first big money, I bought my mama a house in the same neighborhood. But that neighborhood, those neighborhoods that I worked in, I noticed that the people would like leave their blinds open or their curtains wide open, and when you can just pierce right through the house, you could see, and I would always see each room was such in pristine condition. Everything was in place. It was just nice. The beds were made up, and I'm trying to look without looking like a creep, right? I'm trying to peep without looking like a creep, right? So I'm passing by, I'm like, then I would go in the backyard sometimes, and there'd be somebody lying out on the pool deck, chilling, drinking tea or lemonade, sunglasses. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. That's what I want. I want that. But I knew I couldn't have it right then and there. I was going to have to work my way up. And I was fine with that, because I was 10 years old when I planted that idea in my head. Do what I got to do till I can do what I want to do. But you have some people who apply that in a different way. When they say, do what I got to do till I can do what I want to do, they think doing low down, dirty things until they can do what they want to do. They think, let me do some bodyguard work for Diddy. And even though he beating on these women and he forcing people to do this or that, or he's a super freak, banging booties with dudes or whatever. He doing all this crazy stuff, paying dudes, flying dudes in to have sex with his woman and all this kind of stuff. It's disgusting, but man, he paying me, so I'm just going to do what I got to do till I can do what I want to. I would never, ever, ever participate in something like that. I wouldn't want to be around nothing like that. I wouldn't want to be nowhere around nothing like that. I used to see Diddy sometimes, and I would be like, yeah, keep it moving, homie. Keep it moving. Just you try not to think about what people do in their own, private space, right? You try not to think about that type of stuff, but just, hearing this about this dude messing with dudes and all this kind of stuff and all this, I'm like, yeah, I ain't never received an invite to the white party and never wanted one, never requested one. When they came in to get Diddy, it wasn't no conversation, no nothing. Dude pulled up. He had some papers in his hands. I guess that was the warrant. He raised that warrant up, let him know what it was, and Diddy just quietly put his hands behind his back and let the chips fall where they may. The thing that trips me out about all of this, fam, more than anything is, like I said, the level to which Diddy ascended to greatness in the music industry and as a businessman. We need that. We need that. What we don't need is another predator in our community, in our society. We don't need another predator. And I'm not willing to exchange the well-being of the community for a successful predator. I'm not willing to do that. I don't care who it is. We got to be okay. We got to be good. We're getting to a point to where we have just the same amount of energy to oust, to criticize, to drag, to destroy, to persecute, prosecute anybody on the inside the same way that we would do a predator on the outside, a predator who comes into the community unwelcome. And we got to be cool with that. I'm cool with it. I ain't got no problem with it. Now, having said that, fam, I do believe that those RICO charges that they're putting against him, I don't believe that they're legitimate. It's the FEDS, so it's hard to beat them. But there's a 5% chance out there that he could beat him. He do have the best lawyers, some of the best lawyers in the world now. But even the best lawyers in the world don't like to go up against the FEDS. They'll tell you, I'm not, a really, really good lawyer would just straight up tell you, I'm not going to take your money like that, man. You may as well just get a decent lawyer, somebody who's good. You don't have to get me. Just get you can get somebody who's good. They're good. You don't have to spend $1 million on me. You don't have to spend $250,000 with me or $500,000 with me. You can get that attorney right there. He's qualified and he'll do it for $30,000. That's all you need. You don't need to do that. Because typically when the feds come, they got what they need. They're not like the police. Police look at you. Oh, you look suspicious. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, come on, let me search you. Oh, what is this? It's this little rock right here. All right, put your hands behind your back. Or they ain't got nothing at all. They come around agitating you. Agitate you, then you get offended. Now they're arresting you because you questioned them about questioning you, who is totally innocent, ain't did nothing. So they arrest you. They put a do not, I mean, they put a, what do they call those? Resisting arrest. They put a resisting arrest on you because you moved back. Put your hands behind your back. Resisting arrest. That's one of the easiest ones to get that they put on you when you're innocent. Resisting arrest. If you're innocent, why would you just want to put your hands behind your back and go to jail? I mean, to me, it would be human nature. It's a natural instinct to resist if you haven't done anything. But that ain't how I go out here, you know. So best thing to do is go ahead and comply, get them out your face as soon as possible. That's the name of the game. Get them out your face as soon as possible. Let them go mess with somebody else. Let them go ruin somebody else. Let them go kill somebody else. Because some of them have it on their mind. A lot of them be out there doped up and coked up, drunk, riding up and down these streets. Let them go destroy somebody else's life. Go ahead on and cater to their ego for those few minutes, and then let them go on about their business. If you feel violated, get at your lawyer and handle it then. You're not going to beat the cops in the streets. Theodore Nunn, what up? David Peaston. Lil Mama, what's up? Mark Eckwood. Mika Kenny. Mark said he don't feel sorry for nobody who put themselves in these situations. I don't feel sorry for Diddy. I'm just recognizing that he's been overcharged. That could happen to anybody. You know, if you, let me ask you something, fam. Let's say you were speeding, right? Let's say you were speeding. And once you get pulled over for speeding, the police decide that they're going to put some other charges on you that are really unfounded. For example, resisting arrest. You got pulled over for speeding. Police say, get out the car. For what? Speeding. Get out the car. You know you ain't did nothing else. Get out the car. You get out the car. Or maybe you decide you're scared. You don't want to get out of the car because you know that the police do kill. What you want me to get out the car for? So you decide, I'm not getting out the car. The police stick his hand through the window, unlock the door, and force you out the car. Now they hit you with a resisting arrest. If the police get a scratch on him, he draw a little blood in from anywhere, it could be any kind of little scratch, anything. Break a fingernail. Oh, he better not actually break a finger. Then they hit you with assault on a police officer. Is that fair? What about when the police busting you up, when he drag you out the car, pound on you, injure his hand while he beating you up, busting your teeth out your mouth. He didn't put a scar on his knuckles from busting your teeth out his mouth. And he charged you. You ain't even resisted. You didn't fight back. You just trying to cover up. You ain't threw one punch, but they hit you with assault on a police officer. Is that fair? You put yourself in that position. See, we got to think these things through, fam. What they do to the least of us, they do to the rest of us. We got to think these things through. Well, if they do it to him, they might try to do it to us. See, it's other groups, they think these things through. They're so far advanced that even when, let me tell you how far they think it through. Every single time one of these little white boys run out and shoot up a school, or one of these older dudes go in and shoot up a store, a grocery store, or even if they start eating people, the first thing they're gonna do is try to make that person seem like a lone wolf. This is a one-off. This is an isolated incident. This person, where are we going to deal with him? With the justice is going to deal with him. But they try to create a profile, whereas this person did something really, really bad, but they're really, really not a bad person. They just did something really evil. They're not evil. They just got some mental challenges. They just have mental challenges. Why do they do that? Because they know other people, other races are watching. And they know what they're thinking. They know what's churning up in your head. Oh man, but they're evil, they're bad. These people are, and they want to make sure that you don't mix that person up with the rest of them. So they try to find redeeming qualities in that person fast. They're like this. In record time, they put it out there. They start shaping the narrative. In record time. They do that because they don't want any remnants of his evil rubbing off on them. They don't want to have to be included with anything that he did, because they know if people start looking at that person, they start looking at him and they start saying oh damn, it's another one. Oh, it's another one. Oh, it's another one. Oh man, that's a culture. That's pathological. Yeah, maybe it's something to do with, and they're like, nah. So they're not going to allow that to happen because they're thinking ahead. They're not, this guy, they're going to deal with him, but he's just really a symbol. They know at the end of the day, yeah, this guy did that killing. He did this, he did that, he did that. But at the end of the day, he's still white. He's still white. Do you feel what I'm saying? This case, exactly, V, this case is bigger than Diddy. This is what y'all not thought. It's bigger than Diddy. Paul Martin say he can't understand, never understood people with so much, throw it all away. The thing is this, Paul, whoever you are is who you are. Sexually, follow me here, because sex is a very, very, it's a tricky, weird, strange thing, right? Like, whatever you like sexually, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're going to still like that sexually. This is why you cannot cure pedophiles. They cannot be cured. The only cure for pedophilia is death. That's it. You can't stop them for wanting to be with children. It's something, I don't know, any doctors out there, y'all chime in, therapists chime in, psychologists chime in. But it's something, it's some type of cell in your brain or something that makes you want that thing, just like you have people who like a certain type of man or a woman. You got certain people who are attracted to same sex. You got men who are attracted to men, women who are attracted to women. Men who are attracted to men, I can't see it. The way my head is wired, I can't get it. I don't get it, because I'm hard, I'm aggressive, I'm masculine. I like the opposite. I want something soft, sensual. I need that next. I don't want to touch another me. I can touch me, cool, but I don't want to touch him. I don't get it. I can't relate. I can't understand how, with all these badass women around here, all these fine women, that a dude will look at another dude and say, that's what I want. I'm inside of a place, I'm somewhere, I see women, man. I'm like, yeah. My eyes going straight to the women. This dude eyes going straight to the dudes. Like, I don't get that. I can't get it. But it's something. It's something inside of a person. Once they decide that's what they like, that's what they like. Some people like some sexually. Some dudes like fat girls. Some dudes like fat girls. Some girls like fat dudes. Right? That's what they get on. That's how they get on. That's what they like. You got some people who sexually, man, they be messing with animals. Animals. Can't understand. That once they like it, that's what they like. And let's break it down. Let me break it down some. Well, let me break it down a lot. Even if it's you and your woman and you're doing something freaky, once your woman do that freaky thing with you, whatever that freaky thing is, once you do it, a man gonna want it every single time. But the woman gonna be like, no, only on your birthday. It's not your birthday. It's not Father's Day. But a man gonna want it all the time. Once he get it and he like it, that's what he gonna want. Whatever that is, that's what he gonna want. if you're pulling out a carrot and put it on his underarm and just jerk it, if that turned him on one time, you're going to have to put some carrots. You're going to have to go to the store and buy some carrots. You're going to have to keep some carrots on deck, on the nightstand next to the bed, because now that's what he liked. Some people are attracted to certain skin colors sexually. That's what turned them on. Some women are attracted to men with beards. It does it for them. Some women, they like it smooth, like me. They like that. They like to touch my head and try to see what I'm thinking. You know, they like that. You know, put my head in the bosom. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, they like that. That's what turns them on. But that's the way people are. People are who they are sexually, and you can't stop it. So it don't matter how much money you got. If you were attracted to men when you were broke, you're going to be attracted to men when you have riches. Money only magnifies whatever you are. And it only serves to give you more access to whatever it is that you enjoy. It gives you more access. Money gives you excess. So it ain't like you can just turn it off. You ever see ball players who are at the top of the world, and they might have a really, really fine girlfriend today, but let's say go backwards and their first baby mama looks like just an average type of chick, right? Just look like an average chick. May not even be considered somebody that by societal standards are attractive. And then you see that same ball player, even though he might have a trophy wife or whatever, you see that same ball player in the club, and he'll be like messing with some chick. You be like, that don't go together right there, man. Like that, he like them tight. Damn. That's what he liked before he ever got married, before he ever became a star. That's what he was dating in high school. That's really what he liked. But a lot of times they take on the other girls because the other girls are in the circle, and they'll take on the girl with that certain look or whatever because they don't want to be shamed by their peer group, you know, and it's a competition. Just like when they buy the cars, you'll have a dude that's a rookie or a guy who might have just signed, you know, a 10-day contract trying to buy the same car that the star player who earns $40 million a year is driving. You know, it's like, it's a competition. So a lot of times these dudes be picking these women based on being accepted by their peer group. And that's why a lot of times they also end up getting ran through, getting ripped off, because a lot of those women target them and they can't see it coming. Mr. David Bowes, what's up? Brittany, I see you. I see you. Stan the man. What up? Johnson Johnson. Yvette Grant. Kitty boy, what up? Oh yeah, I mean, to be clear, no sympathy or passes from me either for Diddy. Ain't no sympathy or passes. It ain't sympathy because I'm saying that it's sad to see somebody that's on that type of level go down. That ain't got nothing to do with having sympathy for Diddy. That's me looking at what Diddy represents, the symbolism of his success and how that affects other young Black children who, and not just young Black children, but even older people who look at what he did and be like, damn, man, you know what I'm saying? I like to, be able to have that type of success. That's a dagger for some people. But we need all of the success stories that we can have. All of the ones that we can get, we need them. We need those success stories, man. We need a Diddy absent of the forced sex and the beating up the women and the bullying, and we need that success side. We need that. So my point is that it's a shame that his came with all of this other stuff. Inga says his arrest gives bad name to all Black people. We whites see it like you Black people cannot handle being wealthy. I'm finna light your ass up, right? First of all, I'm finna highlight this. I'm finna put you all the way on blast. Y'all look at this comment. Look at this comment. His arrest gives a bad name to all Black people. We whites see it like you Black people cannot handle being wealthy. Okay, so since you went there, let me break this down. First and foremost, we Black people don't give a damn what you white people think. That's first and foremost. At least this one don't. Because the only white people who think that Diddy's arrest give all Black people a bad name is white people like you, assuming that you really are white, but white people like you who wants to believe that all Black people are bad already. You already think all Black people are bad. You already don't like Black people. It ain't nothing Black people can do anyway to impress you because you already hate Black people. So it ain't no change in your mind or trying to change your mind. It's worthless wasting time trying to change your mind. Let's talk about all of the white folks who couldn't handle wealth, who ended up in prison, starting with the nice, sweet Martha Stewart. Let's talk about Donald Trump, who's running for president right now with 34 felonies. then bankrupt I don't know how many companies, who has also bankrupted a university. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how he has used your tax dollars, American tax dollars, to fund his lifestyle when he was the president, paying for his hotel rooms, his golf course, putting extra security on his extended family members, something that no other president had done before. Let's talk about how goofy he is and how uneducated and uncouth he is. But when we talk about him, we talk about him. We ain't talking about all white people. We talking about him. White folks who believe that, and anybody else, not just white folks, but anybody that's not black, including some black people, who think that black folks are a monolith or short bus window licking slow. So we don't give a damn what you think. We don't wake up every day trying to impress you. I stopped worrying about what y'all thought when I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old. I used to watch TV with my mama. And we're sitting here watching TV, and they'll talk about a crime that was committed. And they'll say, okay, they'll start talking about the crime. And before they could put the picture up, my mama is sitting there talking about, I hope he ain't black. I hope he ain't black. Man, do you know how much pressure that is to put on a people where every single time a member of their group get out of pocket, you feel the weight of the world on you. You feel like you're going to be persecuted, prosecuted. See, this all started way back in slavery when white folks was doing this type of stuff, where one black person did something bad and they went out and they took it out on all other black people. One black person was accused of beating up somebody or raping somebody, which it almost always turned out to be a lie, and it was a white man who had done it, but he blamed it on the black man, and which gave other white men the excuse to go out and do what they wanted to do anyway, kill black people for free, with no consequences. So this been happening. Y'all been, the ones who think like that, y'all been thinking like this. It's in your blood, it's in your DNA. You was raised like that. So it ain't nothing that black folks can do to change your mind anyway. Black folks could right now we can snap our fingers and every single black person in this country can be a law-abiding, tax-paying, God-loving people. Nobody commit a crime, nobody do no jacking, no raping, no killing, no beating, no nothing, and you'll still have a problem. So that's why we don't give a damn about what you think, because we know you're going to think that way anyway. I don't sit around and watch it. When they say somebody committed a crime, man, look, I'm not preoccupied with who did it. A criminal is a criminal. I'm not preoccupied with who did it. Because guess what? Even if he is black, I'm not going to jail. I ain't got to go get no lawyers. I ain't got to spend no time away from my family. I ain't got to sit up in no damn jail cell, try to figure out how I'm going to make bond or sit up in there until trial and be all up in there with them stinky ass cells and nasty inmates and disrespectful COs. I ain't got to deal with none of that. That's on him. So it don't affect me like that. I've been stopped worried about what you motherfuckers think. Been stopped thinking about it. I don't waste no time on it. I do me. I judge every single person on this earth as an individual. Because I'm smart enough to know that there are good and bad in every race. See, I got intelligence. I'm not stupid. I'm not a follower. I'm not a clown. Hell up out of here with that, talking about it give all black people a bad, man. It give all black people a bad name. How the hell Diddy getting arrested gave me a bad name? You don't see Willie Dennis' name on that damn indictment. How in the hell did I get a bad name? Brandon G, let me answer this. See, this is another one right here. See, this is how I know a lot of people on the internet are slow, because this is where cognitive dissonance comes into place. So I said that I'm tired of seeing white dudes arresting black dudes. At the same time, I said I judge people by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. Where's the conflict? I said I'm tired of seeing white dudes arresting black men. Obviously, I'm talking about a certain type of white dudes. But see, all you heard is white and black, because that's all you really wanted to hear. You heard what you wanted to hear and you took off running, because you already feel a certain type of way about me. So you took off running with it. See, you don't have the ability to think for yourself. You don't have the ability to comprehend. You listen, but you don't comprehend because you're slow. And that's okay. You should not be on this channel. You should go somewhere else. We'll be fine without you. This is really not the type of channel you need to be on, because you can't get me with that type of stuff. And I'm gonna tell you something else I also said. I also said I don't think white dudes should be police officers. Why? Because too many white men are trigger happy. All of these murders are happening at the hands, almost all of these murders are happening at the hands of white cops. If this was happening to people, if Middle Easterners were killing Americans like this, at the rate that police officers are killing American citizens, would there be an influx of police officers, Middle Eastern police officers? Would we trust that process? Would we trust when we see a Middle Easterner pull us over? Would we trust that? We still ain't got over 9/11. We still ain't got over getting on a plane and sitting next to a Middle Easterner. We looking the whole time. We still ain't got over that. So you can miss me with that, partner. You can miss me with that. It is not a coincidence that they send these white dudes in to arrest black men. It's not a coincidence. It's by design. It's part of the oppression movement that has never stopped in this country. Well, ain't nobody, you only oppressed if you want to be oppressed. If you want to be oppressed, or you want to be dead. Yeah, that talking about Not being oppressed if you don't want to be oppressed, easy to say when you sitting over there with all the guns, or the guns ain't being trained on you. Next. Business development. What's up, Mike, Dan, Michelle, the Crystal? And let's keep it a buck, fam. Those white dudes who went in there and arrested Diddy didn't arrest Diddy because they like you. They didn't arrest Diddy because they want to keep you safe. They ain't arrest Diddy because they care about protecting people of sexual assault. That ain't what why they went up in there. Acting like they doing this type of stuff because they care about the community. Diddy been accused of doing this stuff for decades. And it's others who have been accused of doing the same thing. They ain't did nothing to them. They ain't made no arrest against them. This is bigger than just 1,000 bottles of baby oil. This is bigger than just some dude putting his hands on this woman. Them people don't care nothing about Cassie. Diddy been putting hands on Cassie, was putting hands on Cassie for 10 years. They did nothing. Nothing. Cassie had to go to the hospital and all kinds of stuff. Kim had to go to the hospital. They did nothing. They care nothing about those women. Those women are pawns. So they going to get Diddy, not for you, not to keep society safe. They don't care about society. They don't care about Cassie. They don't care nothing about Kim or any of the other women, and they damn sure don't care nothing about those male escorts. This is, oh, we got a big dog. This big dog has been jumping off the porch, barking up the wrong tree lately. It's time to take him down. Good point. If they cared about women's safety, the honor of a woman, even minors. Well, how in the hell did they let Hugh Hefner see all of his days, die without ever having to be convicted and sent to prison for trafficking women or doing this or doing that? You know, a whole women flew all from all around the world to come to the Playboy Mansion to have sex. Yeah, the stories are legendary. They came from all over the world. No RICO charges. No RICO charges, ever. And Hugh Hefner was at it for twice as long as Diddy was. Come on, man, get out of here with that. Diddy was making $60 million a year with that liquor company, but he didn't own it. The moment he decided, yo, I want more of what y'all got going on. Y'all not promoting my liquor. The moment Diddy started acting like a boss, they showed him who the boss was. They made it a point to show him who the boss was. So it ain't no coincidence that Diddy's arrest is coinciding. The investigation is coinciding with his fallout with those big boys, those billionaires, those times billionaire liquor boys. That's not a coincidence. I don't think it is. Michelle says Diddy ego took him down. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. His ego took him down. But that's what happens, fam. When you get away with something, even if you don't have any money, think about it. Think about your own lives. When you've gotten away with things, think about it. When you've gotten away with things, you kept doing it until it was no longer beneficial for you to do it. You kept doing it until there was consequences for your actions. Same thing. But it's exacerbated when you have money. When you have money on top of all of that, watch out now. When you got that money, you can make things move with money, especially the kind of money Diddy got. You can make things move. You can make people move with money. But this is why I say, if anybody can get through something like this, it'll be Diddy, because Diddy ain't got no problem spending that money. He ain't got no problem doing whatever he got to do to save his skin. He got it, and he gonna spend it. But money can be intoxicating. Money can be intoxicating, man. But this also, once again, lends credence to that old saying, a fool in his money will always part, because Diddy is parting with millions lately. He's been having to part with millions, tens of millions of dollars. But I think he'll be overall financially okay, because from what I understand, he's made some moves to put that money in safe places to where it cannot be touched under any circumstances. Smart moves. Smart moves. But what he should have done was fail back. First and foremost, don't even conduct yourself like that first and foremost. But at some point, even if you did, you catch your snap and be like, yo, because I'm gonna tell you something, fam. You know, that money put a target on you. And if you're a black man with a bunch of money, and I'm talking about that Diddy type money, that life-changing type, that type of money where you can go in and start your own municipality, that type of money, you got to be even more careful. Just like a black politician. Politicians all over this country are corrupt. All over this country, politicians do dirty, low-down things. Not all, but most. How else do you explain somebody taking on a job that only pays $40,000 a year and they're already a multimillionaire? And this is a job where they got to go to every day and spend several hours, and then they're attacked publicly by people who don't even know them. Why would they put their family out there like that to be disrespected online and all that stuff, have their business all looked at. Why would they do that? Because it's a lot more money in being able to shape policy. It's a lot more money in that. So whatever they got, they can actually double up, triple up. It's not by happenstance that when these people go out and they become, they run for president, then they become president, they always have more money after they leave office than they did before they came in. They have way more money. If they were a millionaire when they got in office, 2-3 years after they get out of office, now they worth $50 million, $100 million. Michael Bloomberg donated his salary. I think he had a $500,000 salary. He was the mayor for New York. He had a $500,000 salary. He donated it. Who donates their damn salary? Somebody who don't need it. So why would he sit up in that office in New York and deal with that every day, 5 days a week? You get a triple homicide. They calling you in the middle of the night. You got to go and do a press conference, getting you out of bed to do a press conference. You already a billionaire. You're going to put yourself in that position. It's a storm. They calling you 4 o'clock in the morning. You got to get up out the bed or get up off your woman, run down to City Hall and stand up in the front in the rain and give a speech. Why would you do that? That's why. Getting to the money. Getting to the money. See, what happens here, fam, a lot of times people think that, when you, if you're a black man and you speak on the corruption of government and government officials and stuff like that, if you speak on the establishment in a negative manner, you call them out, they look at you like you must be racist, because you're calling out the establishment. You're calling out America. But if you're white, they consider you a rebel. You can do the same thing. You can say the same thing, and you're white, you're a rebel. You got to be careful of people who try to make you be silent so they can be comfortable. See, that's an old trick. That's an old trick. They try to make you not talk about it. Don't say nothing about it. Yeah, it's wrong. I ain't gonna say it out loud that it's wrong, but I know it's wrong, but don't you say nothing about it. If you say something about it, we're gonna call you a racist. Say something about it, we're gonna say something bad about you. No, I'm not gonna be silent so you can be comfortable. Forget it. Let me be clear, as I was clear from Jump Street, but some of y'all, like I say, you suffer from an acute case of cognitive dissonance. So I got to repeat myself over and over and over and over again so that you understand. I am not sympathetic towards Diddy whatsoever. I do believe that Diddy should pay for his crimes, whatever those crimes are. At the same time, two things can be true. At the same time, I believe Diddy has been overcharged. I do not see what he's being accused of as a RICO charge. I do not see RICO charges. Not when grown people voluntarily get on a plane and go have a freak off, go have sex. If that was the case and it was such a serious law, why didn't Hugh Hefner get charged? Why don't all those politicians in Congress get charged? Most of them got double homes. They leading a double life. Why haven't they been charged? If you meet anybody who meet somebody in another city, another state, in fact, you don't even have to do that now. We got the internet. So if you fly somebody in and y'all have sex and you give us some money for the Uber, or you fly in, you pay for the flight, you give us some money so she can get us some dinner and stuff on the, when she leave or whatever, maybe she gave you a sob story and hit you with a bill story or something. Maybe you give us some light bill money or something, or, some rent or whatever, and you put on a plane. If your sister booked the flight, is that a conspiracy? Did you just pay for prostitution? Come on, fam. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see what these charges look like, man. What I'm saying is that deal with the man on what he did. Deal with what he did. Deal with what he's guilty of. Deal with that. But don't be just trying to drag the dude and make up stuff. That's why one of the reasons why one of the R. Kelly cases got thrown out of court, because they overcharged him. And a lot of times they can get away with overcharging people who ain't got no money because you can't fight the case. You can't fight it. That is the good thing about having money. If you do get caught up in something and you are innocent, you can buy your freedom back. Because a good lawyer will be able to get that judgment reversed. A good lawyer would do that. Davita, what's up, Davita? Fighting quads, honey, baby. Carol. Carol says the drug in women and the abuse that everyone. I'm pretty sure about the abuse. Pretty sure about the abuse part. The drug in women, and I'm sure that they can prove that. But can they prove the drug and women part? Can you prove it? Or is it just hearsay, she say? Now, if I was to take a wild guess, I would say, yeah, he probably did that, because I've been hearing a lot of those stories, right? So I'm thinking like, yeah, he probably did that. Yeah. But can they prove it? And can they prove those RICO charges? Can they prove that anybody came into town against their will and had sex against their will? Can they prove that? Now, it wouldn't be hard to manipulate a few women, but what they talking about, like dozens and dozens, man, you can't even keep up with all of that, man. You can't do that. You can't keep up with it. JC says the prosecutor will call witnesses who saw Diddy put drugs in drinks. That's he say, she say. That's his word against their word. Anybody can, man, anybody can. If that's the case, anybody can walk up and say, yeah, I saw him. So they're going to believe you over him simply because you're the prosecution witness. Come on, man. Nah, that ain't enough. That ain't enough. Just saying you saw somebody do something. What qualifies your testimony to be more valuable than his? Now, I'm going to tell you when it's really going to get wild. I'm going to tell you when it's really, really going to get wild. If one of them boys are implicated. If they implicate one of them boys, it's going to get really wild. They already mentioned the name of one of them. Oh, man. That's my time, fam. I know that I do got another live. I think I may do another live this afternoon, later this afternoon, maybe mid-afternoon. But in any event, man, that's my time. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Diddy, if you want to watch the video of the Diddy arrest, it is in the details underneath this video. The Feds arrest of Diddy. That video has been released today, and you can see exactly what went down and how they caught Diddy off guard when he was returning to the hotel. About 4 federal agents accosted him and placed him under arrest. So y'all know this is going to be a long, drawn out saga, and ooh wee, man. There's so many people involved. So many people involved. And this spans at least a couple of decades. Here we go. That's my time, family. Enjoy the rest of your morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Danny D, I see you. Okay. Fritz 2 Live. Colin Dewan, that's it. No more talk.